Family businesses have always been a thing, where let's say a father opens up a bakery. He would then pass that bakery on to his children, who would pass it on to their children. It's a very common practice. But what if your father was a medieval executioner, and you then had to inherit that job? What would life be like? Well, today, we're gonna find out.
You're born into 17th century England, into what people might call a decent family. Not rich enough for fancy silk, not poor enough to starve, just comfortably forgettable. Your mother does all the cooking, cleaning, and, well, keeping you alive. Your father? He's never home for long, always out doing stuff. Then you hit the 1-year mark. Huge achievement, by the way. You've officially dodged the Grim Reaper's newborn sweep, where nearly 40% of kids like you don't make it this far.
Many kids back then didn't make it past 1 year old. I don't like that sentence. It's really confusing me.
By age 3, you start realizing something's weird. Nobody visits your home. You don't live near other kids. And for some reason, your mother never lets you wander outside. Something about wolves. Stray ones. Ones that apparently enjoy snacking on children. Then, one evening, your world cracks open just a little. Mom takes you to the market for vegetables. And instead of the grand adventure you imagined, you get stared at. Hard. People whisper. Some glare. A few even curse at you and your mother. You're 3 years old, so obviously you have no idea what's happening. Maybe you dropped food on your shirt? Maybe they just hate toddlers? Then you hear it. Executioner's brat. Your mother doesn't wait for more.
I do kind of understand the idea of disliking the executioner, but what is screaming at a 3-year-old child going to accomplish? What do you think that the executioner would then want to execute you for screaming at his child? Who's 3 years old, by the way. I also, I get, yelling at the mom. I wouldn't personally do it, but I understand where people would be coming from. It makes sense that you wouldn't like the guy who kills all of the people, and thus anyone associated with that guy you wouldn't like.
She grabs you and hauls you home, moving faster than you've ever seen.
Are they, attacking her?
But it's too late. The word is out. And now, so is your curiosity.
Okay, I'm sorry, but if you're 3 years old, there's no chance you know what executioner means. You might be able to understand that people are, mad at you and screaming and yelling at you, so you might get scared, you might get emotional, you might cry, but there's no way a 3-year-old child is like, oh, executioner's brat. Oh, that must mean my father's the one killing everybody in this town. There's no way that they could do that. I don't even remember what my favorite TV show was at 3 years old.
That night, you wait. You sit, fidgeting, until Papa finally walks through the door. Flamboyant coat, looking like he just stepped off a stage. You don't even let him sit down. You need answers. And so, with a sigh, your father leans in and tells you why you live in the shadows. Why people spit when they see your family. Your father is an executioner. And suddenly, the wolves don't seem so scary anymore. Your father is the man they call when they want someone dead. The walking embodiment of justice. Or at least, that's what the city tells itself. But there's a tiny little problem. He's getting old. And guess what? You're next in line. Wait,
that
what?
Is crazy.
No. You had plans. Good plans. Maybe a blacksmith shaping steel instead of splitting skulls. Maybe a knight gunning enemies on the battlefield, not butchering criminals in the city square. Anything but this. Your father doesn't sugarcoat it. He sits you down, looks you straight in the eye, and hits you with the harsh truth. Nobody in the city will let you do anything else. Your father once dreamed of being a knight too.
Wait, so it's not even just a family thing, but the whole city, no one will let him do anything else. I guess that kind of makes sense though, because clearly him and his entire family are known to be executioners. Why would any other business hire them? Imagine you're a bakery and you hire someone from the executioner's family. Then a lot of people would not want to go to that bakery anymore. So I guess it makes sense why you wouldn't really be able to get any other job at that point.
That was never going to happen. His father was an executioner. His father before him was an executioner. And his father's father? Guess what? Executioner. This is the family business. You're trapped. At age 12, training begins. Like any other job, you need to learn the trade. You start small, taking care of execution tools, sharpening axes, swords, and ropes, cleaning up the execution sites after someone loses their head.
Oh,
It's
God.
gruesome, sure, but bearable, because at least you haven't had to watch someone die. Oh, look at that. You jinxed it. 8 months in, your father calls you to witness your first real execution.
This kid is 12 years old, and he's cleaning up blood, he's sharpening tools, and now at 12 years and 8 months old, he's gonna witness his first execution. Man, times back then were actually insane. I will say, though, that we do have the internet now, and there are things on the internet that people of a young age are seeing that I do not think that they should be seeing. Even there's things that I don't even want to see out there, and I see. It's literally insane. I can't even speak of some of the things I see on some social media platforms. It's awful.
A man stands on the scaffold, weeping, begging for mercy. His children are in the crowd, screaming for his father's
God,
life.
it's awful.
The crowd watches, some solemn, some hungry for blood. Your father stands there, not like a man, but like a reaper waiting for the job to be done. And then, the rope snaps his neck. It hits you. This isn't just training. This is your life. Bitter, angry, trapped. You clean up the blood, haul the body away, while the city glares at your father like he was the one who made the sentencing. Like he's the villain. And one day, that'll be you. You're 14 now. 2 years of scrubbing bloodstains and hauling corpses have earned you the right to start real training. And by training, you mean something that makes those past 2 years feel like a vacation in Disneyland.
Oh boy.
If Disneyland had a chopping block and torture chambers. First lesson, human anatomy. No, not sketches or dusty books.
Wait.
You learned by watching your father slice open real corpses right in front of you.
Wait, ew! Nah, I didn't know executioners did all that. I thought they just like killed dudes and then, you know, bundled them up and threw them away. I thought like if anyone was cutting people open, it would be like doctors, medical professionals. But apparently it was the executioners who ended up doing this sort of stuff. I knew that this happened. I didn't realize it was them though.
At first, you turn away, gagging. But you don't get to look away for long. You learn or you bleed. That's the rule. Every mistake is corrected with a beating. Executioners don't just kill. They extract information.
They torture
which means
people too?
You also learn the art of torture.
Oh
and
my
learning
God.
means watching.
The thing is, like the harsh reality is that he's going to become numb to it. He will become his father eventually, where he doesn't feel any, like he might feel some empathy, like he understands what he's doing is awful to the other person, but eventually he'll become numb to it, whereas he just doesn't care anymore, and it becomes just a regular day. And I don't even really blame them because that's very normal. For example, I've gone hunting many times, and the first time that I ever shot anything, like I was very sad. I was really, really sad. And it was tough, especially because without getting into too much detail, a lot of times you shoot something, the animal doesn't die. So then you gotta go finish it with your own hands. And I started hunting when I was like 15 or so. My point is now I'm way more acclimated to it. I'm way more understanding of what's going on, and I'm way more accepting of the results. And I know that this is different because they're doing this to humans. I could obviously never do that to a human. That's insane. But eventually, like after you see it again and again and again, and you do it again and again and again, eventually you just become numb to the entire process, and it's just another day in the office.
You watch him tear out a man's teeth, one by one.
Oh my God.
While the victim screams and writhes in agony. You don't like it, but over time, you learn something useful. Pulling out teeth with your bare hands, sloppy. A pair of pliers, much cleaner. A year passes. You master how to keep a man alive just long enough to make him confess. How the body works, where to cut deep, where to cut slow. You're almost ready to start killing. Except,
oh my God.
No.
Okay, now he's got a giant smile on his face. See, I never thought that we get to the point where he enjoys it, where he likes it. I thought he would just become numb to it, but I seem to be incorrect.
Swinging a sword for money. There are rules. 2 more years. 2 years of memorizing laws, city regulations, execution protocols. Just you and your father in a profession so cursed that nobody ever applies for the job. You don't have to compete. You don't have to prove yourself against anyone, because no one wants to live the life you were born into. Then, finally, your father decides. It's time. But not for public executions. Not yet. First, you practice by torturing prisoners for confessions. It's slow, messy work, but you do it. And when your father sees that you can break a man without flinching, he nods. Now you're ready.
Oh my God. Wait. How old is he right now? He's about to do his first execution. I missed how old he was. If I had to guess, he's what, 16 now? Oh my God, man.
Your first public execution. You pull on the black cloak, not to hide your identity. Everyone knows who you are. It's to strike fear into their hearts. The crowd watches in silence as you step onto the scaffold, sword in hand. You keep your back straight, grip firm, unyielding. But inside, you're sweating, shaking, your heart is hammering against your ribs. Your father's words echo in your head. Fake it till you make it.
Where you really think that's what he's... Really? Oh, you think that's what he's thinking right now as he's about to go exterminate somebody? I better fake it till I make it today. Whoosh. I don't think that's what he's thinking of. He's probably thinking about how this guy has a whole family and all he did was steal a loaf of bread. Then does he really deserve to die? Am I really gonna kill this man in front of his family and all of his friends? I think that's what he's probably thinking right now.
The man is dragged onto the podium.
Oh, there's two of them.
He's forced to his knees. The priest murmurs the final blessing. You don't wait. Your sword flashes. One clean stroke. His head flies. The crowd gasps. The execution was so fast, so smooth, that for a second, they can't believe it actually happened. You're good. Disturbingly good. The crowd disperses, but not without leaving you a storm of curses. Even the priests spit at your feet.
I wondered if it's like required to go to those. Like I would never go. The only way I would go is if it's like a family member, which even in that instance, I don't even know if I'd want to go. Like that's such a terrible way to remember somebody. But I guess like, you know, being there for them would mean a lot for them, I guess. So I would do it for them. But if it was just some random person, that's terrible. Why was there always a big crowd around that? Did people find it like enjoyment in watching people die like that? Like that's so crazy.
Like you chose this life. Like you wanted to be a butcher in a cloak. Execution after execution, you improve. You refine your technique. Your father notices. Even he can't deny your talent. Soon, he retires. The title is yours now. The city's official executioner. Time to enjoy everything your father did. Being an executioner isn't just about swinging a blade and spilling blood. It comes with privileges. You're paid well, not just for killing, but for keeping the market streets sane. You're also allowed to take whatever you want from the dead.
Wait, what? They get to take whatever they want from the people that they kill? Why would it not go to like their family? Why does the executioner get it?
Built on corpses. And this makes people hate you even more. Imagine this. Elizabeth, whose father you beheaded yesterday, sees you parading through the market in his favorite coat.
Yeah,
how do you think she feels?
That's crazy.
That's right. She wants to kill you. But she won't. Because you're untouchable. The church refuses to let you in, unless it's a special mass. That's rare. They say you're unclean, a necessary evil, and yet you're expected to marry. So you leave your father's home, buy a house in the city outskirts, and find someone as hated as you. She's beautiful, she understands you. She has no family, no one to judge her for choosing the city's butcher. Your wedding is as empty as your childhood dreams. No priests, no guests, just you, your parents, and one aunt who probably came for the free meal. But at least you're happy. And for an executioner, happiness is a rarity. 1,000 deaths later, the years roll by. You become famous. Your name reaches neighboring cities. 1,000 executions under your belt, and you are now a legend of death, feared more than any of your ancestors.
Well, I don't know why he's so feared though, because it's not like he's a knight that's, you know, slaughtered entire armies. Like at the end of the day, anybody could be an executioner. It's just a matter of like if you are or not. Like he's just been in the business for a while. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he went hand-to-hand combat with people and killed 1,000 of them and he won 1,000 times. He can't lose. He's 1,000-0, but it's impossible for him to lose. So how is that impressive at all?
But this isn't a statistic you take pride in. It haunts you. Every night their faces flood your dreams. Their screams crawl inside your ears and refuse to leave. The weight of their deaths crushes your chest.
It actually is very smart of a government to have an executioner as well, because that does delegate a lot of the anger that the people have towards the executioner rather than the government. And I'm sure like the government still does get a lot of hate and backlash for choosing to execute so many people. But like, for example, if it was the king that was coming and executing people, people would be, I think, way more inclined to revolt against the king because he's the one that's killing all the people too. But when you have somebody in place who it's their job to execute people, now people are mad at him, not so much the king, perhaps. You know what I'm saying?
But life has one mercy left to give you. Your wife gives birth to a son and a daughter. For the first time, you know true joy. You love them fiercely, protecting them, giving them a good life. That's all that matters now. But something is wrong. You feel it in your bones, your muscles. The stance that once made you a pillar of fear is now hard to hold. Your hands shake. It's only a matter of time before you make a mistake. And in this job, a mistake is death. The cycle continues.
What kind of mistake can they even make? Like they maybe don't do it in one fell swoop, you know? Okay, well just do it in two then. I don't understand what the giant mistake that they could even do.
There's only one choice left. You hate it, but you know what must be done. You take your son aside and begin to train him, just as your father trained you. You carve the same fate into him as was carved into you. He hates it, just like you did. But this is the only way. If he is to survive, he must be better than you. Because in this life, you don't live by mercy. You live by the blade.
Wow. I wonder what if there's any other job that would be worse than that for it to be the family business. That's pretty bad. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed today's video and want to watch another one, make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and click right here.